Hi, welcome back everybody to the channel. It's Mike Newton down here at Penrith Golf Hub. It's a head-to-head video for you guys today, and this particular one we're going to take a look at the brand new TaylorMade P770 Iron. Been a very popular viewed video that of mine, in my review video of it. It looks really nice, obviously brand new to the market. I'm going to put it up against another main company here in the iron category, and it's the Mizuno MP20 HMB iron. So the reason I'm putting these two side by side is both hollow headed constructions. They're both in that sort of forged headed bracket, maybe just edging into that better players bracket here, but obviously still offering a little bit of forgiveness. So interested to see how these compare. A few of you viewers have been asking for this particular video, so obviously I like to oblige, and we're going to sort of test these. We've got Trackman on the floor as always, so I'll present you with some data and obviously my feedback as the difference of the look and the feel of these two clubs. Okay, so we're going to kick things off, and we're going to start with the Mizuno, the MP20 HMB. So obviously a very popular iron. The MP20 range was obviously very popular. Beautiful looking golf club. It's hollow construction, slightly on the bigger headed side of the three MP20s that Mizuno are offering. So it sits very much in a similar sort of bracket as the 770, albeit the 770 is probably slightly smaller head. When I put that HMB, it's a little bit larger profile, slightly thicker top edge. So you could say it's a little bit maybe comparable to the 790 iron, but I'm just thinking about the lofts here. So this 7 iron here in the HMB is coming at 32 degrees of loft. The 7 iron loft in the 770 is 33, so much more in more of that sort of weaker loft, as I can say, weaker in those categories there, but slightly weaker, whereas the 790 is around that 30 degree mark. So that's the reason why I'm putting these two side by side. So we're going to get underway with the HMB. Let's get good looking iron behind that golf ball, a little bit of that offset there, thickish top line, quite a long blade length from that heel to toe, so it does feel with quite a bit of confidence. Okay, that's not a bad opening shot, quite nice and neutral, and as we know with Mizuno, they do feel extremely good, and that isn't really any sort of difference there. That's a good strike, that one. A little bit better strike than that first one. First one maybe just a fraction heavy. That was a better strike. A little bit more ball speed through that strike. 185 on the carry distance. So obviously we should possibly expect to see this travel a little bit further, 1 degree stronger on the loft as a standard to the 770. So maybe expect on that front that this should go a little bit further. Oh, it's a little bit of a skinnier one. Didn't quite get to the bottom of that particular shot, but it's done all right there. Again, ball speed's really good there, 127. So pretty quick off the club face there, just spun up a little bit more, that slightly low strike. So obviously with the HMB, it's a hollow headed construction as it is with the 770, but this one isn't filled with anything. So 770 is filled with a foam, this isn't, so it is a hollow, but it doesn't sound very clicky. Sometimes when it's hollow without anything in it, you can tell it's a little bit more of a clicky sort of sound, but you don't get that clickiness with this particular one. It does feel, you know, like a Mizuno forge, maybe not quite as much as the bladed one, you know, or the MMC, but it does sound and feel really good. Oh, that's a good strike. It feels quite powerful. It's a beautiful high ball flight there. That was very neutral again. 127 again on that ball speed, healthy ball speed there, 181 carry distance. Okay, give one more hit and then we'll move into that 770. Yeah, not a bad strike at all. Touch pulley if I'm going to get very picky, but it's not bad at all. 129 ball speed. So I've seen some good ball speed with there. Obviously that hollow head, a little bit of that flex in the club face there. You know, it's an iron in the MP20 range that is trying to provide as much forgiveness, a little bit of power, but still getting that neat sort of look, that forged sort of feel. So it's trying to tick a lot of boxes, which is where I feel it's been a very popular iron. Okay, let's move into the TaylorMade P770. Right, okay, so a brand new P770 from TaylorMade. As of shooting this, just launched it, just recently done my review video, so you can go and check that for a little bit more in-depth about the club, a little bit more testing. But it performed really nice, and it looked superb. So I think TaylorMade have done a great job with this new P series. So putting that down by the golf ball, as I mentioned in the review, it's a beautiful looking golf club. It's shaped lovely. I would say straight over there, comparing it against the HMB, a tiny little bit less offset. Just get these two side by side again. Yeah, just a little bit less offset there, I would say, and definitely a little bit more of a squat head, so not quite as long from that heel to toe, and the top edge probably just a fraction thinner than the HMB. So it is a little bit more of a compact look behind that golf ball, but again, it does look really, really good. Let's get the first one with the 770. Okay, touch bottomy, very neutral. Didn't flush that at all. Remembering this 7 iron here is now 33 degrees of loft, so we shouldn't expect to see maybe as much distance. So that's 125. Spun up a little bit more. Again, that was that little one off the bottom of the club. Be flying a little bit higher then. That's one thing I did see in my review video. It did fly pretty high. Feels lovely again. Neutral flight. Doesn't look to be quite as powerful that as it comes out. Ball speed 125.8, 177. Yeah, you can start to see there a little bit. Obviously that was a better strike than that first one I hit, but you can see this just coming up a little bit shorter on that dispersion at the moment against that HMB. But remember, it is 1 degree more loft, isn't it? That's a good strike. Good flight, good strike. A little bit more forward on that particular one. Might get a little bit more out of that. Yeah, that went a little bit further there. 128 ball speed, so good ball speed. Okay, just a tiny bit pulley. But again, good strike, beautiful high ball flight. 127 ball, 180 carry, 5.7 spin. So typically that's where I sort of saw the spin on the in the review video, in that sort of 5,700 to touching 6,000, some touch less than that, which I thought it might have been a little bit more with that 33 degree of loft, but I found it was a little bit on the low side of the spin. But having said that, the height of it more than sort of overrode that in a way. You know you're going to get some stopping power because of the height. It's a little bit low in the face, maybe a little bit that speed slot in the bottom might just help me out a little bit on that particular one. So 123 ball, slight drop of ball speed, see spin goes up. Okay, so there is 5 shots hit with the TaylorMade. So we can start to see a little bit of a group in between that HMB and that TaylorMade there. But let's go look at the numbers in a little bit more detail. Okay, so just looking at a little bit more detail. So the rings I've got on there is the total, so that's with the run out included. So if I just switch that to carry between the two irons there, you can maybe just see the grouping just gets a little bit tighter there. So clearly what we're seeing is a little bit more of that run out there with, or the less run out, should I say, there with the TaylorMade because of the height and the slightly more spin, which we'll have a look at a little bit more detail in a minute. It's stopping a little bit quicker than the Mizuno, so you see the carry distances there a little bit tighter. Just have a quick look into the numbers here now, so we can see the HMB on the bottom in the white with the yellow of the 770 on the top, so we can see club head speed 90.9 against 91, so identical there. Ball speed, you see on average, is identical at 126. So possibly expect to see a little bit more with the MP20 because of the 1 degree less loft, but the speeds are actually identical. Launching identical there, and you can see the spin there, 5958 against 5418. So a little bit more spin with the TaylorMade, which is where you'll see that slight difference of that total dispersion. So it landed, it's going to release a little bit more with that HMB as opposed to that 770. So 500 revs there is where you see a little bit more of a split between those dispersion rings. Then we switch into that carry distance, how those dispersion rings got a little bit tight, as you can see, 178 against 181. So really the HMB getting that little bit extra distance there through that little bit low spin because the speed's pretty much identical. Difference then maybe on the height, 118 feet against 116, so both flying really, really high, both got really good sort of stopping power as it comes into land. But I think, you know, probably there just a little bit more of that control of the spin. For me, the 770 just sort of edging it. Okay everybody, so there we go. There for me is two very, very popular irons, and I know the HMB is, the TaylorMade's just launched, but I know it's going to be a popular option as well. So for me personally, you know, I do prefer the 770 over the HMB purely because it's a little bit more compact, which suits my eye a little bit more. Maybe HMB is just a little bit on that larger side, probably great in that longer iron, and I have had a 2 iron in the HMB. But I think just with that pure looks and the shaping of the head, the 770 is definitely a winner there for me on that front. In terms of the feel off the club face, you know what, they both feel really, really good. As I say, the HMB isn't clicky or massively clicky, considering there's no substance inside the head. We know there's some foam in that which does dampen sound, dampen a little bit of vibration, but they both feel very, very good. As I say, both will feel slightly clickier than maybe an iron which isn't hollow. But again, you go and test that, you might not even notice the difference between those on there. Obviously, TaylorMade just got that little bit of tech in there, you've got a bit more tungsten there, you've got that speed slot in the bottom for maybe those low in the face strikes, which I did get a couple in that particular test there, and they seem to do all right. So I think number wise, there's not a lot in it, as you'd probably expect. A little bit more spin with the TaylorMade will probably just edge it for me, and then compare that then with the look side of things. I think that would definitely make me sort of choose a 770. Okay, love to hear your thoughts as always between these two clubs. Post your comments in the section down below. Love to hear your thoughts as always, so please fire away with those. If you enjoy the videos I'm putting out there, the review videos, we've got the new Mizuno JPX range coming soon to the channel, so if you don't want to miss those, then make sure you hit that subscribe button, ring that bell if you do not miss another video going forward, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.